That is BMW M2. I've just come to its non-start. I've plugged the computer in. We've got no engine crank signal, crank sensor. So I have put the code reader on, and there is 0 RPM when you're cranking. Look, ignition on. Nope. See, nothing. Nothing at all. We're gonna get on with removing the manifold and replacing the crank sensor, and then we're gonna test drive it. First, I'm gonna remove all that. In that manifold's got to come off to get to it from the top. You can get to it from underneath with all the covers off, but I don't have an axle stand and it's red hot. I ain't lying on this tarmac. As you can see, I've got to get my jeans to protect my knees. So we're going to continue, pull the manifold off and go that way around. Let's get this done. Now I'm just getting prepared to take off the strut brace. This bolt here was loose. These are going to come off, and the strut brace, and them two up there. Now I've come around this side. There's no bolt there, and there's no bolt there. So I'm just looking. I've just been told by the customer someone's done the starter already. I've just noticed that bolt there is loose. I've took it out with my fingers, this one, and this side is missing, and this one is missing. So whoever done the starter motor, I'm dreading to see what's going on under there. Let's have a look anyway. Let's get the strut brace off, get the manifold off, and I can see a lot better. I've pulled the pipe off and put something in there. Make sure you don't drop nothing in there. Anything, these rubbers, plastics, pieces can drop in, so be extra careful. And then we're going to start with those two there, two little 8mm. I don't know if you can see them. Yeah, get them out to drop the little wiring down. Right, we've now removed all the bolts that hold the manifold. The manifold is loose, but we've got to remove the strut brace, so let's move that. I've removed the 4 Torx bolts, one there, one there. This should slide out like this. Yeah, there we go. One strut brace. Now for the bulkhead. A few 10mm around it, that one there, and them two there. Let's get them off. Right. Bolts are out. Pull this pipe off the brake vacuum, and then this should come off like this. There we go. So now we've got more access. Should be able to lift that out now. These, as you can see, it's got a hook. They come off here. You've got to press it down and then pull it back, just like that. Now she should move off. Now those 2 bolts I've undone down there, they don't seem to have freed the wiring. So there's something else. Let's pull it off a bit and have a look. No, there's something else down there. Let's have a look. Right, there was nothing else. Just pulling it forward enough to get the access. You can see it's had a new starter. The crank sensor is directly underneath it, so we're going to have to try and remove this pipe off the back here and the wires, and then we'll get the manifold off. Living the dream in the sun, sweating to death, 2 black cars. Let's do this. Now I know a lot of you are going to cuss me. Now I've just noticed how close that ECU is to the starter, so we're going to go quickly and disconnect the battery fast before that shorts itself out. Now, tied up the manifold because I don't want to take it completely off right now. I've made sure that ECU can't short across there, so we're going to take the ECU bolts off, leave the ECU connected because disconnecting it can cause you issues, so we don't want any more, and then we should be able to get the manifold off. So let's do that. Customers just brought me a nice fresh of pop with ice. What a bloke. Yeah, so I've removed 2 e-torques. I'm going to get the rest off and then pull the manifold off. On my hands down there, I've got my watch on. It's got to come off. It's too tight in there. I don't want any, in case the watch face breaks or button falls off and goes in there. We don't want nothing going in there, so we're going to take my watch off. No watch. And we've blocked all the holes with the rags. You don't want nothing going in there. We've removed all the ECU bolts that hold it to the manifold. There are 4 or 5, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts. As you can see, there's a hole in there that goes into the ECU, which is very strange. Maybe to cool it. Let's pull this manifold off anyway. And there we have it, manifolds off to the side. ECU is there. We need to make sure this ain't gonna short anyway. So I'm gonna do the same and tie the ECU up out the way while we're messing. So I decided to take the ECU off because it was just too risky in the way. So here we have it. Manifold off, ECU's off, temperature too high. I've just removed the bolt, and it's just a trick. It's a trick. It holds the end of the wire. You have, it's looking like we have to take the start motor off. So let's get on with that. 2 starter motor bolts removed. The starter should come out of place now. I used a 9mm spanner for the back one, pointing this way, and a 10mm for that one, the bottom one pointing that way. Let's get it off. Well, starter motor's off. I've never seen nothing like this in my life. You see the crank sensor. The wire is there, going into there, and there is a little T30 bolt right there. We've got to get that out somehow. Should be fun. Let's go. Well, crank sensor has been removed, but these metal bits were attached onto the end of it, like melted into it. So that's not good at all. I have no idea what they are. They look like they're part of a circle. What we're going to do is put a crank sensor on it tomorrow and hope for the best. Failing that, if it doesn't start or it runs lumpy, we're going to get it to the garage and get the gearbox off. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Let's hope it works. This is all packed away. I'm going to get a crank sensor tomorrow. Please subscribe and like, and come back tomorrow if you want to see the outcome.